Yep. Welcome to, well, today is going to be a content class, but this is officially Marketing Minute, part of Success Club. Thank you for being a member and catching this replay or joining us live. Today will be a content class style. We're going to share 10 content ideas and we're going to talk about different ways to use it, different industry examples, and things like that to hopefully really bring it to life for you and make it easy and actionable so that when you're done with this training, you walk away with a full bag of content ideas that you can use in the coming week.
That is correct. I don't care who you are. I don't really care how long you've been around. It happens to us. Like, it'll be like, oh, we schedule a lot and we have tons of content. We've really been working on our content game lately as far as repurposing our blogs and things like that. But there are still times it was like, oh, we need to sit down and post, or we do it for clients and it'd be like, just like, well, what is that going to look like? Even for sometimes for live trainings that we do, it's like, just that blank cursor of death. It's like, what are we going to talk about today? So hopefully these ideas you can just have as a quick go-to, so you don't have to just be, looking. I know a lot of people on our replays have our content, your social plan, Socially Sweet. But these are going to be content ideas that you can use for growth things. The know, like, and trust, putting your face in front of the camera. In some instances, they can be static posts, but stories, reels, these things that are going to help you grow your channel or grow your network, whatever network you're talking about for this. So
Yeah, the presence. These are going to be your presence building posts.
yes,
The other ones are easy, right? You can ask an engaging question. You can share a motivational quote, but figuring out how to create presence posts that kind of establish you is that's the challenge. That's the hurdle.
yeah, they're hard. I mean, they're hard. They're hard for us. They're hard for everyone. So, and the amount of people that I get on and I like in Socially Sweet and I look in the like I need to look at something or whatever. It's like the first two M and V's, like across the board, they got them, and then the P's. Sometimes they're a never, but the P's are sort of an important part of the mix. So we want to try to give you some ideas. So you need to really the P's help to in the suggested posts too. Like they get more engagement. So anyway, here we go.
Yep. Can I take number one?
Yep.
Number one's my favorite.
You go for it.
All right. So first and foremost, a really great, it's kind of hard because it involves a live video, or you can do a reel if you want to do something like that. But this post idea is to kind of help you overcome the idea that a live or a reel has to be something that's very premeditative and thought out, like super composed and things like that. But we want you to go live. We want you to put up a piece of video content and share 3 quick tips to do something that interests your ideal client. So Kathleen, she does massage. That would be something like 3 ways to relax. Does she not have a massage academy?
Yeah. So I think it's she teaches.
Masseuse.
Yeah. So
okay,
but
so
same principle.
Yeah, three ways to attract more clients looking for massage services.
Good job.
But then you can also share end user ideas, right? So you could turn that into 3 ideas, and then you're basically sharing those ideas that your people would use to attract their clientele. So ways to decompress. That would be a big thing that people who are looking for masseur services, massage therapist services would be interested in. So it always comes back to I shared on Instagram and YouTube. I think I shared it in the group too, like our 4 steps, our simplified 4-step marketing strategy. It comes back to that idea of the very first step being, what problem do you solve? and figuring out what 3 topics or what 3 tips should be built around answering that problem or those problems, because you have more than one problem. That's the name of the game for repurposing it, is think of those 5 different angles for the problem that that person has and deliver those 3 tips to that person. So go live and deliver it. What are those 3 ideas look like? So Jate, you're here. 3 quick tips to have a more effective core workout, because your core is connected to your lower back. Lower back is like the lower back pain is like the number one complaint. Something like I read a statistic a long time ago, like a year plus. It was like 75% of adults complain about lower back pain. And as a fitness professional, you know that most of that pain comes from sitting too long or, a lack of core strength. So addressing the 3 quick tips for a more effective core workout and tying it to like back pain or something like that could really be beneficial. Am I taking all the tips in this one too? Is it like I'm doing one and then you're doing the other?
And number 1?
Yeah.
No,
I'll do
you
it.
do
Okay.
you
So
do all
like
number
the
1.
cooking niche, right? It would be like 3 quick tips for baking something, like baking the perfect something. So if you're like, you're probably not a French pastry chef if you're coming to us for social media, but like if you're a what is it, the Pampered Chef, and maybe it's 3 quick tips for getting dinner done in under 20 minutes.
Yes. Love that
That's
one.
what I'm interested in. I'm actually a 10-minute dinner or bust.
Right. And if you don't, a tip is to switch that. If you don't like tips, you can hacks. That's a big buzzword today. So,
Mhm.
it can be 3 hacks if you wanted to use that instead.
Photography, 3 quick tips for capturing like the best X. Maybe it's like the most stunning sunset photo, or to get your 3-year-old to smile or your 1-year-old to smile. I guess that's more of a challenge, a 1-year-old versus a 3-year-old, but 3 quick tips for doing something in the photography niche that your ideal client, if you're a family photographer, then yes, no doubt your ideal client has tried to take pictures of their kid, and is probably looking for tips and hacks and tricks to do it a little better.
Yep. All right. Number 2. So this is going to seem like a give me, but I'm going to put a different spin on it because we give you these. So it's basically a beautiful image
Some of them.
with a quote, like with a motivational quote that inspires you. So, you see this done all the time, right? And you share. So how you're going to make this more unique to you and your niche. So a lot of the content we say doesn't have to be on niche or whatever. So these are going to be on niche because this is presence stuff. So you're going to take whatever your niche is, you're going to make it be what inspires you within your own niche. So if you're in the travel niche, it could have been a picture of you at the Grand Canyon with your family, and that what inspires you is that your business and booking whatever that also gives you the ability to travel, or to inspire them to make an experience gift instead of and like Christmas, like let's have an experience gift being the Grand Canyon, like stage a picture or use a picture of yourself in the nature niche. Let me see if I can figure out how to make this one work. So like if you were a yoga, I'd say that's sort of nature. Or if you're in what is another?
So I put like you're a hiker or like YouTubers and things like that. My in-laws, I put this example here, Julie. Sorry, I probably should have done this one, because my in-laws seriously are paying these people on YouTube by how much they watch these like nature hiker videos.
For
They
sure.
watch hours a day of people hiking the Great Pacific Trail that goes from Washington all the way down to Mexico. And sharing like a quote of them walking and then doing like a quote on top of it for like a YouTube short or something like that, that diversifies the content. And I really like this second one as a reel. Everyone struggles with short form video, but some, especially now, some of the best performing reels aren't necessarily like you sitting there talking and delivering value, but you could use your imposts as a reel by just popping in a video of you doing something or a video of like a serene nature um, picture. And then you put the quote on top and you add a little bit into the caption about what that means to you.
Right. This actually stirs a thought for me really quick. We do have a Reels. It's not out yet, but it will be coming out. We need to get that out. It's 100 of them that's video reels that are they have a nature scene in the background, whatever. You can switch that out, you can put you in there or whatever. But it just made me think about that. So we need to get that product out. Sorry.
Let me write it down. So yeah, the third one is motivation, right? So like you can do, I think Jate, you have actually done this before, but like, you know, you share videos of you working out and things like that, but instead of it being on, like, you could speed it up or you could slow it down and you could add like a quote to it. And then after that quote kind of disappears, you could give like a 1 to 2 sentence thought on like what it means to you. The same thing with you, Marcy. If you're like sitting down designing invitations or like working invitations, taking a I don't know, like a, you call it B-roll or like a wide screen shot of her doing her thing. And then, because I think I overlooked that a lot in reels and short form video too, is not like, oh, I felt like I had to be looking at the camera and delivering some kind of value, but just letting people see your workspace and then adding some value with these like quotes and with these thoughtful things really go a long way. I think because people are overstimulated and people are kind of looking for, you know, a relaxing approach. Because I know I even feel like sometimes I'll scroll past a video that's talking to me directly, but I'll slow down on a video where I'm watching, you know, someone work or some nice nature image with something inspiring on it. So don't overlook that.
That's right. Jate, yes. Jate asks, where do you speed it up? And that Canva is one place.
Oh,
Your CapCut, if it's a reel, is a great app.
but you can also do it right inside Instagram. If you don't want to use CapCut, you can just speed up the video in Instagram in the Reels editor. You can do the same thing for a YouTube short.
Exactly.
I have a video and static picture showing me work, kind of like peeking in to see what you do. Yeah, and Marcy, I'm so glad you shared that because I really love that approach. Because I don't know if anyone's been following us on Instagram the last few weeks, but I have been putting out a reel almost every single day, and it gets kind of like, oh, here you are listening to me talk about our posting plan and socially sweet again. Like I get to feeling that way. But then, like, if I mix up, oh, you know, someone's just kind of watching what I'm doing and someone's kind of sharing in the journey or they're feeling what it feels like to be in my space, that has such a more social selling approach to it when
Connection.
that's mixed in.
Right. And
So,
connection.
yeah, great job there. Yeah, because someone may look. One of the best reels that I've done in the last few weeks was me doing a straight up, like, look at my office. Spoiler alert, it's a really nice closet with lighting. But you can watch that over on Instagram if you want.
Yep.
All
So
right.
that was a great segue into the next one that we have is behind the scenes.
Mhm.
I think like most people, you hear about this all the time,
But no one does.
but
And even less people do it well. So
right. And we don't
do it.
like the whole behind the scenes, everyone like the how like that show, how it's made and the things like that. People love those types of, especially reels, something that's a video content, but it's totally good for flat images as well. and stories. So you're just going to give them a peek. You probably think that what you do is boring, but I work with influencers that make money on the most boring stuff. Just like Jessica's like talking about the people that make money off the hiking. I got a lawnmower guy and he's making bank. I mean, I've got like, it's so crazy that, and people sit and watch and binge watch and whatever and it's more, and that's kind of what this is, that behind the scenes type stuff, like what's going on in the day. Okay. So behind the scenes stuff that they wouldn't normally get if you have a shop, it'd be like what goes on behind closed doors, those kinds of things. So like obviously, and an easy one is like fashion design. If you are a designer and you sketch out, sketch out your designs. Marcy, showing the proper way to, or a way to, or a hack, anything like invitations, like calligraphy, whatever. Showing how you are packaging up, sending them off. Like you've gotten them in, they're beautiful, they're going to this wedding, whatever.
Yeah. My brother-in-law, he's a software developer and he's trying to get discovered. So I need to send him like the idea because he would never think like, oh, show someone what I'm doing at 1 a.m. trying to build the next app that's going to sell, 10 million copies. So, that would be an example of a behind the scenes that someone wouldn't think to use. And if you're like in any kind of direct sales, you need to be doing behind the scenes with your products, like, Pampered Chef. You need to be filming yourself using those things, and how they incorporate into your life in a behind the scenes way. Again, it's approaching it from not buy my stuff.
Yeah. So like you think, so Pampered Chef, you see all the cooking videos, whatever. A behind the scenes would be what it takes to pull this off. I got to get all my stuff, and they have them in there, all little pre-portioned things. A good, reel saying, this is what it takes to bring this real, like our cooking ones to you. We love doing these. This is why we do this, to make a 1-minute reel that you can go and make a 20-minute meal, is rewarding to us, whatever the thing is.
Right.
You get the idea. So you're making a connection with these. It's more showing, like I could totally show one where I'm finishing a website at 1 a.m., so that they can start their ticket sales. Like was last night. It's like, oh, it's finally live.
Yeah. Why didn't you give me some footage of that?
Yeah. Right. I was in my PJs. No, I wasn't actually at that time. At 1 o'clock, I still was fully dressed, and I could have done that.
Yeah. Next time, babe. All right. So we're on number 4 and we're trying to do 10 of these. Oh my gosh.
Yep, we got to roll.
Right. Yeah. So share a funny story from your own life and make it relevant to your community. I've got to start doing more of this because my Monday through Thursday is kind of hilarious these days. So I don't necessarily have a blog about mompreneurship or parenthood, but showing myself trying to work in the pockets while, raising a 3 and a 1-year-old is probably something that other mompreneurs could really appreciate. So same thing, like if you're trying to get started as a musician or a comedian or something like that, you could share, a mishap. I am a closet singer, and anytime you're trying to do anything, you can miss a note, you can, tell a bad joke, or, hit a wrong note if you're a trumpet player or whatever. So maybe you share those mishaps so that other people who are doing the same thing see that real side of you. Again, it's just like that third behind the scenes. It's all about showing the real side of what it is. If you're a travel agent, maybe you think it's not going to behoove you to show like a setback, or maybe like a flight gets delayed, or maybe you had to eat something weird in a Chinese market or things like that. But sharing those things could really spark the adventurer in a different kind of traveler. So I feel like everything's on the table. And we tend to box ourselves into like the perfect, easy, low hanging fruit type things, when really like sharing all of it, all of the journey, no matter what niche you're in, can really be beneficial. So share a funny story, a mishap,
A blooper,
a blooper. Yeah.
if you've tried 27 reels and like, you've got something, make people,
Make light of it.
yes, I was gonna say, people find that endearing to know that like you don't have to be super polished all the time, and ready to anyway. All right, so I think we got that one. But those are really, really show your personality, make it shine. So, all right, on to the next is a quiz, or I'm going to say a poll too. So, a quiz or a poll, because you can sort of do the same thing.
Those are really hot right now.
Exactly. So, and there's software that you can get and do your own. You can do static images where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're asking and they can answer with an emoji. I'd be a little bit careful with that because it's technically considered engagement baiting, but I've seen it done a ton, and I don't know where they're standing with that these days. Story polls, huge. And stories need to be part of your marketing mix. So story polls are huge, and you can still do the same thing with reels too. Where you own screen, give them the choices, comment with the thing. The point is show your creativity, show that get engagement basically. So let's think of some examples.
Like leadership style, if you're in personal development, or fitness, like those are always big. The skincare type ones. When do you wash your face at night? Yes or no? Obviously that's a yes or no question, but you could do different levels of the spectrum. Yes, with moisturizer. Yes, or with cleanser. Yes, with cleanser and moisturizer. Or yes, with exfoliation, cleanser, and moisturizer. And so people have like multiple opportunities to answer, and it gives you an opportunity to come in later and say, oh, well, I have a really good one here. Is that what you're asking for?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep. I think that one's pretty clear. We'll probably move on.
Awesome. I like this, and I actually, for those of you who are here early, I told you that I went live on Instagram for the very first time, and I kind of did this. I introduced myself and the team. Well, it's Julie and Jess.
Because we do have other people behind the scenes, but
yeah, because I hadn't done that yet. We put a lot of effort into Facebook and Pinterest and all of that. But so make a video introducing yourself or your team, and do this every so often, because one, it keeps it fresh, and two, if you start out saying, hey, there's some new people following me and I wanted to make sure that I introduced myself, it kind of makes you look like you know what you're doing. Oh, she has new people, so that's cool. But if you're a real estate agent, it would really introduce you as kind of an expert, and maybe you could do that in a new listing or something, so that they can see the faces behind, who they're about to buy a house from.
Sure. And especially that goes true for your team as well, because depending on your hierarchy, if you have people that work with you that might get passed off, like working with them gets passed off to them, they're going to feel very comfortable. It also establishes yourself or your company as being larger when you're announcing and showing, hey, this is Matt and he does this for you. You might find him behind the counter doing this, blah, 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 blah. He's here to whatever, and have something nice from Matt. Right. So I've got a power tip for this one too. So if you did this as a story as well, you can pin that as a highlight and be, in your meet the team or about us or whatever. Same with a reel. and that you can pin it to the top. So I've been thinking about doing like our 3 pinned posts, doing one of Jessica introducing herself, one of me, and then one of our services. And those 3 things, if they come to our profile, those stay up there the whole time. So so if you get one that you like, and again, don't do just one. So you can come back and do, either different takes on it. Like, even people want to know like what your hobbies are. And, wouldn't y'all want to know what my hobbies are? I haven't told y'all. I've told some people, but anyway.
She likes the hula hoop. Hula hoop.
Yep. Hula dance.
Only a few people know that about her,
dance.
But now the world knows.
I know. I need to do a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing to watch someone hula dance.
Yeah. Not hula not Honolulu hula, like hula hoop, like like tricks and whatever. Yeah. So anyway,
and then you move it to your leg without it stopping. I got it. I watched some YouTube videos.
Yeah. All right. So, but people would, yes, it's not exactly on brand for socially inclined, but people do business with people.
It could be.
And they might want to know that I have a cool purple hula hoop. I have a cool purple LED hula hoop. All right, moving on. See, you get the idea. People do business with people is the idea. So you need to like put yourself out there and introduce yourself. Introduce your team.
It is fancy. It is fancy.
All right. Capture a picture of an industry event. All right. So everybody, especially after COVID, I mean, events are back, but
this can be virtual.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that they're as live events aren't as popular. There still are opportunities I have seen. So, definitely if you have a live event that you can, you need to make the most of it. Okay. If it's conference or if it's, whatever it is, but you can do the same with virtual things that you're a part of.
And happenings too. Like, you could talk about like this coming up, which I'm honestly did not mean this as a plug for Socially Inclined, but just saying like, so I'm Jate. I'm a fitness coach. And today I'm joining this live training with Socially Inclined to learn about XYZ. And you may not think that that is super relevant, but it shows that she's learning and she's trying to do more to reach more people and to better serve people as well. And we could do the same thing every time we go through some kind of training or get some kind of certification for our business, whether it's the Etsy side of things or, through Shopify or things like that. There are things that you could highlight. I know that Marcy, I know you're on here. I know that you have virtual events quite often, or it seems that way, that you could highlight as well. And I think I remember you doing a pretty good job about that. And the other masseuse, Kathleen, I think you probably do some in-person too, because I think it'd be hard to learn massage virtually, right? So that would be a real easy one, I'd imagine, for you to take some footage or some pictures of like your next event or the next event that you're a part of, whether you're hosting it or not.
I was going to say too, you might not even be a part of it. It might be an industry event that you are asking your followers if they might be going to it. So it can be something. And in events, I guess I was thinking more of the big, like Brendon Burchard, like the huge, like mega events that were happening. And I don't see as many of them. I know regular events are like
the major wedding boom.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. Like even, for you, even the wedding and tying that in or, any other type of event. So yeah.
Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Sounds fun. I've been to Las Vegas once. All right. We got to hustle, man. 3.
I know. Your favorite resources or tools. I love this one.
Yep.
We have a
Doesn't
lot
have
of
to be
them.
your own.
Yeah. We've
Yeah,
done a
it can
lot
be
with
ours.
AI, and we talk about ChatGPT all the time. Yes, we've built it into Socially Sweet, but also, I mean, we talk about other tools. So we talk about our tools, but we talk about other tools as well. So um, if you're, I mean, there are so many. Like I get the opportunity in comments and places all the time. So we're active, or I sometimes am active in other groups, and it's like, what do you use? Canva? Like, if you're not using Canva, you need to be using Canva. Like, people about design tools, Photoshop, whatever. So, um, people would love to see things that would help them grow or do whatever it is that you do. So, Jate, like fitness, it can be her favorite um running shoe. I don't know. That's not really a resource. I mean, I guess it's kind of a tool for what you use. Um, but a
Planner,
health tracker,
food, food
your
organizer.
watch. Yeah, like, your watch, that's your step counter, whatever it is. Okay. So showcasing how you use it, how it's good for them. So,
it could be, so for Marcy, it could be like the must-have supplies for planning your stationery, like the things that you have to have.
Yeah. Or
bare bones.
addressing, so it can be the calligraphy pins, whatever. I don't know.
Well, she was with us a lot of the content class, and I know we did like a numbered list, like the 10 things that you must have, or 5 things would probably be a little more compelling and less daunting, but like the 5 things you must have to deliver beautiful addressed wedding invitations.
Right.
All right. Memes. Number 9 is a meme.
They're just so good.
Low hanging fruit, but man, it's tasty fruit.
Yep.
So share a meme, like, and it doesn't even have to be on your niche. Share memes are great if they're on your niche.
We've got some coming.
Pets.
We've got some that we need to schedule. So we were talking earlier about that we're on our content game, like really bump. So we've got a set of memes, 50, I think. I don't know, that we've got coming. They're not scheduled yet. So anyway, you'll see some memes because they are great.
I love how my Success Club teachings now turn into Growing Jess's to-do list.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. So memes, that one's easy. You can search memes in whatever niche and find some inspiration there.
Yep. You can build your own memes in Canva as well. So if you've got, if you've got an idea for them, you can stage your own picture and be in your own meme, which I love. Like, we talk again about the filter, bloopers, not filters, bloopers. I was trying to get ahead of myself. There's like this app that takes a still picture and it makes a baby look like they're singing or whatever. Like, that's a take on a meme, actually. And you could use an app like that to animate yourself, whatever.
It doesn't have to be that composed, though. If that already makes you feel overwhelmed, don't worry about it.
Yeah, just go find a picture.
All right, final idea for the day. This is great. I love curated content. There's a new podcast coming out today for those of you who have been waiting on one. But the last podcast was about content ideas that don't require you to write your own content. Curated content. Find a news story that either inspires you or that you have, something thoughtful to respond about it, and share it, because if it spoke to you, it's going to speak to your ideal client.
Exactly. And you're going to give your 2 cents on it. So
just 2 cents though.
Summarize or give your take on it, why it's important to them. Again, I always state that, like, depending on the type of content, for them to be invested, they've got to know the why. So if they're going to read the article, you need to give them the why it's important to you.
Exactly.
So, and it can be, there's plenty of on topic, but you can also go off topic with, things that are going on in your community. If you're, if you're like local, like plenty of things. Stay away from politics and
Things that polarize.
yes, polarizing topics.
Yeah. All right. That was a good 10. Did everyone take notes?
We'll put them in the replay. We'll drop the
Yeah.
list in the
Yeah.
replay area.
I think we're going to do more content class like this next week. Definitely, though, if you have a topic or a burning desire for marketing class, make sure you let us know. Either send it to us in support or in an email, so that we know. We would love you to tell us what we're going to do. For you to tell us what you need, and we're happy to teach on that. But content ideas are always requested. So hopefully of these 10, you can come up with some really great content this week.
I'd like to vote for doing some more over the shoulder, or actually the steps, like either Canva, like doing, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at creating reels. So I can show you how to speed them up. It's actually pretty intuitive after you get real frustrated and spend some time looking at it.
All right.
All
so
right, thanks,
y'all
everyone.
go make some posts. So be the face of your business.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will see you next week.
Yeah. And y'all go tell people about Academy or Success Club. Tell them what you learned and tell them they should spend $15. Cheaper than
That's
Netflix, better for your business.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.